Before I started my tenure with all of you at Kol Ami, I took my son Izzy, who's here with us tonight, on a 10-day journey to the Canadian Rockies. We e-biked through a thunderstorm in Banff. We drank water from an ice glacier in the Columbia ice fields. We hiked trails that once saw wheeled wagons, and we saw lots and lots and lots of waterfalls, both giant and small. We saw black bears, moose, bighorn sheep, and some smaller critters. They have a version of some of our critters, but they look a little different. I love traveling. I always have. There's just a freedom that I find when you head out for a new place. I also find inspiration from being in different visual surroundings. One might say that I like to be a wandering Jew. I've lived in many different countries, I speak different languages, and I love to meld into the cultures of the places that I visit and I live. When I travel, I find freedom from who I am at home. I get a new perspective. I become aware of my surroundings, and often I come home just a little bit changed. The joy that the world brings opens my eyes and my heart to new ideas and new ways of being. That 10-day journey really helped refresh me before beginning this holy work with all of you. And tonight is Shabbat Kol Ami. Tonight we take a spiritual journey, one that leads us inward, that helps us refresh ourselves from the chaos of our own weeks. Abraham Joshua Heschel teaches Shabbat is a palace in time. If we take full advantage of Shabbat, it can be a journey, it can be a palace in time for each and every one of us. We might, at the end of Shabbat, begin to see ourselves anew, our world anew, our family anew. Unplugging from our devices, detaching from the constant need to respond to emails and texts, mindfully enjoying a meal, spending quality time with our loved ones. Shabbat is a journey for our souls that we are offered weekly. In Numbers, we read, Ele ma'aseh b'nei Yisrael, asher yitzu mi'eretz Mitzrayim. These were the journeys of the Israelites who started out from the land of Egypt. The journey of our people's exodus lasted 40 years. Our people trekked over 100 kilometers across an arid desert plateau, walking towards a place that they had never seen and never imagined. Can you imagine a 40-year journey? What might it have felt like to journey this long and this far? And what we've heard about the people on the journey is that they weren't always so kind. They weren't always so happy to be walking together, to be led by Moses, our leader. Jewish educator Jeremy Lee, in his book Jewish Journeys, speaks of a consistent tension between the physical and the spiritual dimension of the journey, a reflection of the same drama that defines the meaning of being Jewish. Jeremy was one of my Israel educators during my year at Hebrew Union College in Jerusalem. He lived this tension. With a well-worn backpack always on his shoulders and dusty leather sandals, we would set out with Jeremy to explore Israel. He dedicated his life to traveling and to teaching others about the journeying of Jews, our history, our foundation, our stories, by wandering with us to the historic places where our people journeyed. Maybe I love to travel because I come from a wandering tribe of peoples, but when I step foot on new ground, I am physically renewed, and I am forced to be spiritually more aware. Traveling often reminds us gently, and sometimes not so gently, to hand over control. It allows us to be delighted by new sights and sounds. It beckons us to be in the present moment. If being Jewish means to journey both physically and spiritually, how are you journeying, Kol Ami? And what journey do you want to take yourself on this year? Do you want to learn with us at Kol Ami, become part of a regular Torah study group with us? Do you want to make a commitment to Tikkun Olam this year and take actions of tzedek and tzedakah, righteousness, helping those who are less fortunate, maybe by donating to help keep our Hollywood Food Coalition able to feed the houseless in this community, or coming to make sandwiches? Do you want to make a commitment of daily prayer or a commitment of weekly prayer, attending Friday night services, wrapping yourself in the words of our tradition as if they were a shield, a protection, a guidance? Or maybe your journey is a spiritual, personal journey, one that goes inward, one that allows you to heal old wounds, to connect with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Ruach Elohim, the divine, ever-present Spirit who waits for us to greet her and to cry out to her. The Jewish people have been formed on journeys, both physical and spiritual. How will you be formed on this year's journey? Abraham is told by God, Lech lecha, go from your land, from your father's house to the land that I will show you. His journey is also understood as Lech lecha, go towards yourself, a journey inward, not only outward. Our exodus from Egypt was an entire tribe, 12 nations journeying, who had endured suffering under the hands of Pharaoh. This was a journey never to be repeated. And there were 42 places that our ancestors traveled on their journey. So I'm going to riff a little teaching I learned from one of my teachers on the meaning of 42, because there were 42 stops along the way. According to the Kabbalah, the divine brought the world into being from 42 letters of the Torah. So if you count the words from the Shema through V'yisharecha in Ve'ahavta, you get 42 Hebrew letters. We pray tonight that God guides us on our journey in Kol Ami as one community. We pray to be guided spiritually towards ourselves as Abraham was, Lech lecha, going forth and going towards and inwards. We pray for patience as we rebuild. And may we journey together, holding one another up in strength, increasing our resilience. Ana Bakoach, a beautiful piyut, a song, a prayer that also has 42 letters, says, Ana Bakoach, Bakoach, Gedula Yamincha, Yamincha, Ana Bakoach, Bakoach, Gedula Yamincha, Yamincha. Rab Zalman Schachter Shalomi translates this beautiful piyut with these words: Ruach Elohim, untie our tangles. Source of mercy, with loving strength, untie our tangles. Your chanting folk, raise high, make pure, accept our song. Those who seek union with you, bless us ever with holy care. Kol Ami, may our journey this year be blessed with patience, with love, with kindness. And as we journey together through the wilderness in strength, accompanied by God, may we know that we always have the words of tradition to help wrap around us, to give us strength. Ana bakoach, bakoach, gedula yamincha, yamincha. Ana bakoach, bakoach, gedula yamincha, Holy One, untie our tangles as we wander this Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.